All right, it's halftime of SDFC and LAFC. Holy cow, what a first half that was. I'll have a reaction after the game, so it's a good time to give my reaction to this Padres and Braves game. Padres win 1-0. 1-0. I'm crossing sports here. 1-0. Um man, this was it was a pretty entertaining game for it being a 1-0 game. Good pitching performances from both sides, and when you needed a good start, I mean, we got better than that from Randy Vasquez here tonight. You know, first two games, not great outings from starting pitching, especially when you're thinking that Michael King could give you like what Randy Vasquez gave, and you're facing Chris Sale. It's like, oh, it's going to be tough, but they still found a way to win that game. And then Dylan Cease was better than Michael King, but still not, the Dylan Cease that we'll see hopefully, later this season more consistently and going deeper into outings, still find a way to win that game. Today, it's like, oh, okay, well, we got our top three relievers not going to be pitching, at least the 7, 8, 9 inning guys. Manny ends up getting hurt. Now, it's not that big of a deal. I'll talk about that here in a second, but he's out for the majority of the game. And you got Randy Vasquez, who, was fighting for a rotation spot, back end rotation spot. And just because of when he last threw, this is when he's throwing. If it was based on the rotation order, he wouldn't even be throwing in this game. It would be Pivetta. But he throws, and he ends up going 6 shutout innings, 4 hits, 4 walks, and a couple of those were first inning, I think. And he was able to get out of that. And there were some big double plays. Crony, I mean, what a play he made where he could have caught the ball on the line. Instead, lets it drop, throws it to third, gets the tag. Manny tags him out there. Throw to second for the double play to end that inning. There was 1 out, first and second. And so that could have been trouble. But that's just a great heads up baseball IQ play there by Crony. So great job from him there. Um, and then, yeah, like Randy just finding a way to get out of any trouble that he was in. But then also, I thought he attacked the zone. Um, you saw the confidence. I think he had a lot of confidence today on the mound. And I love seeing that right from the get go. It's not a bunch of strikeouts, but I don't really care. Like, if you can pitch to contact and limit the walks, right? Hopefully, next outing and outings after that, it won't be 4 walks. But again, early on was half of those walks. And then he wasn't as bad from there. What was he here? I thought he actually threw more strikes than that. That's surprising that it was 48 strikes out of the 92 pitches. But based on the amount of runs and the bullpen situation, he was able to go 6 innings. And on my pregame, I was like, yeah, I'm hoping that he can give the Padres 5. And so I was like, yeah, there was the underdog pick. And if you picked that, you got that correct, to go higher on, 14 and a half outs. I thought, with the bullpen situation especially, they're going to have him go almost regardless of the situation. As long as they're somewhat in the game, they're going to have him go at least 5 innings. And he earned getting through 6 innings. And there were some really quick innings. Obviously, the first inning with the walks there wasn't one of them, but there were some really quick ones. They had Chris Sale on the Fox broadcast, and it was like a couple of questions that they asked, and then that was it. It was the same thing for the bottom half with Dylan Cease, but just love those quick innings from Randy. So that's great, and I think with the Padres, their decision to go with Randy over someone like Kolek. One, Kolek was transitioning from being a bullpen arm to being a starter, or is transitioning, and Randy, like, he's been a starter. He made 20 plus starts this past season for the Padres. Like, they know that he can do that, and he can go at least 5 innings and probably keep you in games. And so they're going to go with that over just throwing Kolek right into the fire there at the beginning of the year. Especially, and they probably want him. It would be nice to have him a little bit more built up too. So, like, this brings me to Mike Schilt and just the managing masterclass. And if I was talking to Schilt, he'd be like, "No, this isn't just me. This is the coaching staff as well, because they help me make these decisions." So shout out to all of them. But what he has done in these, I know it's 3 games of 162, but the pinch hitting situations, you have Gavin Sheets pinch hit on opening day, and he hits the game tying homer. You have Gurriel pinch hit today, and he hits the game-winning eventual game, the go point, the one run the Padres scored, the RBI single. And oh, by the way, yesterday, left on left situation, totally could have went with Iglesias as a pinch hitter, and instead sticks with Crony, and Crony hits a homer, the go-ahead game-winning homer. So, Schilt has been hitting the right buttons. He's been pushing those right buttons. So that's been great to see. Even like guys that haven't been having the best offensive impact, they still had an impact on the game today. Someone like Jason Hayward with a sliding catch late in that game. I think it was the 9th inning. I did want to mention Tatis, where he is taking away, he didn't catch the ball, but took away a Matt Olson homer, which I believe would have given the Braves the lead at that point, takes it away, and they end up not scoring any runs in that inning. So, like, little things like that were big today. And sometimes it's a little bit of luck. I think someone put it well on social media. The Crony double that ended up in the Braves dugout that hit right off the pitcher's heel or foot, wherever. That's something that usually would happen to the Padres, I feel like, in past years, where whether it be Craig Stammen on the mound or whatever, something wacky would happen, and it would go against the Padres, and it would be like, really, what we're going to do? I mean, even last on A, remember that in where Roney has a go right through his glove, and that's a big reason why the Dodgers won. I think I think it was the first game of the season. So usually those things go not our way, but they went our way today. So that was great. Maybe that's a good sign for this season. Remember, the Padres, they will be trying to make the postseason for the first time in consecutive seasons since, 2005, 2006. So, yeah, I was, 3 years old then. So it's been a while. That would be nice. But yeah, shout out to this bullpen. This bullpen's been great so far. I know it's 3 games, but still. Wandy goes an inning and a third when they needed guys to step up. No Omar Cruz in this game, which was a little bit surprising, but it was also surprising that Randy Vasquez went 6 innings. So there you go. Alec Jacob, 2/3 in an inning, and then Adrian Morejon, an inning, gets the save. Maldi with the frame job there, the third strike to end it. There's a lot of things you could point to. A lot of guys contributing to this pretty fundamentally good baseball win, 1-0 for the Padres. Was there a little bit of luck? Yeah, but also had good performance, and they made the plays that they make. There was some good IQs, like that double play, Tony letting that ball drop. So love it. Now, Manny, that was going to be the big story coming out of this, but I don't think it really is. I mean, maybe for the rest of this weekend and early next week, just to keep an eye on it. But he left this game after taking some swings that were not very comfortable. And the Padres came out and said it was calf tightness. So that's why I labeled it calf tightness today here on this video. That was the from the clubhouse update. But then Manny said post game that he was actually fine, and it was pretty much a good thing that took him out and was being precautious early in the season, and not have it develop into anything worse. But Manny said after the game, this is from Dennis Lynn, quote, "It was just a little cramp. I felt stuff like that before. It's not a big deal." But he just looked very uncomfortable, and he was limping after flying out. And a weak flyout, by the way. He had nothing in that right leg when he was making those swings. But if a weak flyout to right, and then he's walking back to the dugout, and he clearly can't walk regularly. So that's where I'm like, oh no. But if it is a cramp, then and it's not a big deal, then great. And it's Manny Machado as well. Like, if anyone thought, oh, when they saw this that he was going to be out for weeks and weeks and weeks from it, it's Manny Machado as well. So, I mean, this guy was out minimal. What was he out? 10 days or something? Unless I'm totally forgetting, I'm just totally missing details here. But 2022, right? That was the Rockies ankle sprain day at Coors Field, where he was supposed to miss a long time, and he rehabbed his butt off and barely missed any time. for that injury. So even if Manny were to miss time, or like the online doctors would say weeks and weeks, well, it probably wouldn't be weeks and weeks for Manny. So I right now, especially when Manny says it was just a little bit of a cramp, I'm not going to be worried about it. But yeah, that was not a great feeling because it's the first weekend. I mean, it doesn't matter when it is, but Manny Machado, when he's healthy, he's an MVP candidate. And so when you see that, the third game of the season, and it's like, man, that was like the one thing. Like, this team is totally a postseason team if they can stay healthy. And then you see that, and it's like, let's not have this start now. Let's not have this start crumbling us right now with injuries. And then also, which sucked, but ended up maybe not being anything, hopefully not being anything, fingers crossed, was when Tatis kept the Olsen homer from happening. They showed that, I think it was during the mound visit, that he was kind of moving his wrist around. And it's like, okay, please don't be a wrist injury. So we had Manny exiting and then Tatis doing that. And it just wasn't a good span of how many minutes that was. But it seems like everything's good. Padres are 3-0. Randy pitched great, for being, a back-end starter, going 6 shutout. And the bullpen did their job. The bullpen's been great this this series, because can't really say this season, like this series. It's been 3 games, and then Sunday Night Baseball tomorrow, and then you get the rest of the bullpen back. You get your big guys back to try to go for a 4-game sweep of a team that very well could be fighting for their division and very well could be making the postseason. That's pretty dang good. And I tweeted this already, but think about this. These first 3 wins, it's not like they dominated all 3 games, or they're facing the Marlins or the Angels, and it's like, yeah, you should be winning all 3 of these games. Think of the circumstances. You had Michael King in game 1 not pitch well, and you had Chris Sale on the other side, and you win that game. Game 2, you had Dylan Cease not be the best Dylan Cease, and you win that game. Oh, by the way, game 1, you were down. You had to come back, 3 times in that game? And then game 2, finding a way to win that game. And then today, Manny goes out. You're down your 7th, 8th, and 9th inning guys. You've got a guy that was competing for a 5th starter spot pitching in this game, and you still find a way to win this game. That's pretty dang good to start off your season 3-0. So I'm happy about it. If you're not, you're not a Padres fan, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. And it's going to be fun to see if they can go for that 4-game sweep to start off the season. Tomorrow night / late afternoon, Sunday Night Baseball against the Braves with Kyle Hart's on Monday. Nick Pivetta. So that's going to be fun to see Nick Pivetta make his Padres regular season debut at Petco tomorrow night.